Welcome home, everyone. There is in this place the possibility of healing, of repair, of making things right within ourselves, between us, and the wider world. We gather around this light of hope as we share this time together. Amen, Ashe, and may it be so.
I like that.
Sing it, Miss Martha.
Yes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wedgwood. As Ashanti always says, welcome home.
Welcome.
Whether you are here in Charlotte, whether you are watching from far away, whether you are watching after this recording has been made on a different day other than today, Sunday, October 22nd, we welcome you home to Wedgwood. And today, so we pivoted. We had another speaker scheduled, a good friend of mine named Corey, who does amazing work, and they will be speaking later on. But I mentioned last week during our celebrations and concerns that they had a death in the family. Their mother-in-law passed away, and so we're rescheduling them. And so I'm going to be taking off my Wedgwood hat and putting on my day job hat in a little bit in honor of LGBTQ History Month. So we're going to kick things off with some announcements. Okay, so next week is Sunday, October 29th. We will be celebrating All Souls Day. And we like to do things, really special for All Souls Day. If folks have a picture they'd like to share during the service of a loved one, please send it to the church by this coming Friday. We'll put a reminder in the newsletter. We'll put a reminder on social media as well. But we really want to take time to remember losses of, people that we cared about, people who may have transitioned. It could be recent losses, or it doesn't have to be, super recent. It could be any time. But people that you care about and that you want to lift up. It can also be, someone that maybe had an influence on your life, like an author or a poet or a speaker. Maybe you didn't know them personally, but they really affected you in some way. So if you would like to share those pictures, please make sure to get them to the church by Friday. And we are already almost to November. Can you believe it? We have our very own Melba Evans, who will kick things off on November 5th. With her talk titled, What is Prayer? And then the following week, we have Thomas Blandford joining us, and they will be speaking on immigration. We will have our Thanksgiving service on Sunday, November 19th, the Sunday prior to Thanksgiving. And then Sunday, November 26th, we're still fleshing that out, but we'll let you know as soon as we solidify that.
That's Betsy.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's Betsy. Betsy will be speaking. I'll make sure to get this updated. Our very own Betsy Riggone will be speaking as well. So, we have a lot going on, and we're very excited to, kick off the final months of the year, and we hope that you join us. And friendly reminder to vote for Wedgwood. We just have a few more days. Voting continues up through the 31st. We have been nominated for Best in the Nest with Queen City Nerve as the best church. We are number 5, question number 5. And we're also we're number 5 on the list. So vote for Wedgwood. This will be great visibility for us as we continue to grow. And mark your calendars. We'll have more information forthcoming. But Tuesday, November 28th is Giving Tuesday. Wedgwood participated a couple of years ago, and we're going to be doing it again. So we'll put some information in the newsletter, but mark your calendars. More information is forthcoming on Giving Tuesday. And we have a bunch of special events coming up on November 1st. We have the event with Green Faith on November 18th. We will be attending the Yapié Iswa Festival in Rock Hill. We will also be celebrating the Interfaith Thanksgiving service with McMahon. We have our International Holiday Bazaar to benefit the Refugee Support Services, our 2nd annual Holiday Bazaar. More information is forthcoming on that. And then we've also got our Wedgwood Holiday Meal. So make sure to mark your calendars. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up. And we are fully in the swing of fall. However, you can still grow things, and our food pantry still needs support. So one of the ways we encourage people to do that is by joining our backyard garden club. Now we're entering the season where, leafy greens are really popular and easy to grow. But if you'd like to participate and help grow some produce in your own homes that we can take to the food pantry, please reach out to the church and we will provide all of the supplies for you. And the food pantry has additional needs, and we will also make sure to update this as we get the Thanksgiving needs list from Hearts United for Good, who runs the day-to-day of the food pantry. But this is the general list that's year-round. So if you feel so moved, donations are always needed. They do not stay on the shelves. And we'll make sure to update this as soon as we get the Thanksgiving list. And connect with us if you haven't already. We are available through many platforms. We're on Instagram. We also are on Facebook. We have our active website. You can also email us or call us. And if you go to the next slide, we encourage you to also join our newsletter. And we're here to help too. There's 3 of us that are our official staff, and we also have Ryan, who's our fabulous tech person. Melba is the ministerial coordinator. I am our community outreach coordinator, and Ashanti is our fabulous music coordinator. So we're all here to help. So reach out to the church at any time if you need anything. And we also encourage you, if you go to the next slide, to join our newsletter or sign up for our newsletter if you haven't already. It's very easy. It's just once a week, and we try not to send out too many, but we'll send out special edition newsletters as well as needed. This is a really great way to stay up to date with all the things that are happening, not only at Wedgwood, but in the larger community as well. And we also ask that folks please give to support the work that we do here at Wedgwood. We are small, but we are mighty, and we have very big plans. We're also in a time of transition, so your financial support is really crucial as we have entered into this time of discernment and think about how to make the best decisions possible for the life of this church. And we certainly can't do that without you. So as you feel so moved, we encourage you to donate to Wedgwood. The QR code will take you to PayPal. However, if you visit our website at wedgwoodcharlotte.org, it gives you all the options if you want to connect to our Venmo or Zelle. There's a lot of different ways to give, but we ask that folks find it in their hearts to do so. And next up, we have Ryan with our extravagant welcome. Hey,
Ryan. We are all welcome here. Welcome to a church that works for peace, justice, equality, and the care of Mother Earth.
We are all welcome here.
An extravagant welcome to you because of your gender identification, sexual orientation, ethnicity, economic situation, physical and mental challenges, doubting or believing, being depressed or full of joy.
We are all welcome here.
We are a community of curious and creative spiritual seekers, striving to learn and embody the way of Jesus and other spiritual leaders.
We are all welcome here.
Like Jesus, we focus on the plundered and the marginalized as we try to address the major issues of our day.
We are all welcome here.
One of the ways we seek to heal the world and ourselves is through sharing parts of our personal story.
We are all welcome here.
Thank you, Ryan.
And now we come to a time of celebrations and concerns. Liz mentioned someone this morning. Would you like to share that again, Liz? The loss, the death in the family?
Yes. So my dear friend Corey Easterday, his wife Megan, had the most wonderful mother, and she declined very quickly. It was very sudden. She was in her late 50s. She had started to, feel not quite right. And within a couple of months, she received essentially what was a terminal diagnosis, and she passed away, I believe, within 2 or 3 weeks of that diagnosis. It was very quick. It was very sudden. And it's been very hard on the family. And so I just want to lift up Corey and their family as well.
Laura, would you like to give us an update on Tony?
Yeah, yes, thank you. My future son-in-law, Tony, had a massive heart attack several weeks ago. He's 48 years old, and he is doing better, but now he's going through a lot of psychological and emotional changes as a result of the heart attack, and having to change his entire lifestyle, including smoking and a lot of different other kinds of things, diet and all that. So it's causing a lot of upheaval in the family, as you can imagine, you know, a lot of emotional things going on, people reacting to his reactions. And so they're in a state of upheaval. So if we could just pray for some peace in that family, that would be great. Thank you.
And Betsy, I know that your family has had a lot of illnesses. Would you like to give us kind of an update on how everybody's doing?
Yes, sorry, I needed to unmute. Actually, my brother had another bout of cancer in his lung and had gone through then maybe 6 treatments of radiation. And both the cancers, one in his tongue and the one in his lung, is all now in remission. So
Good.
God, yeah, God is good. And Thomas, he still has your beautiful star hanging.
Did we lose her?
I think she's gone.
May have.
Anyone else have any celebrations or concerns? Thomas?
Celebration. My daughter Sarah and I closed on her dream house on
Yes.
Thursday. So she's moving into it this weekend.
That's exciting.
That's
Is Betty
awesome.
back? Oops.
Betsy, did you
I
want to finish?
apologize. No, I just appreciate everyone's prayers and you know, things. My husband has gone through a lot of
Yes.
health issues, recently a surgery, and he's like just suffering with some balance issues that might never be resolved. So if you could pray for some acceptance there, that would be really helpful. But otherwise, we're grateful.
All right. Liz, did you want to say something?
Yes, so I will be traveling for work early Wednesday morning. I'll be going to a conference in California, and I'll be coming back late Sunday evening. So I won't be joining folks live next Sunday, but I just ask for, you know, prayers and good thoughts from folks, that the journey is easy and the conference is good, and that nobody gets COVID or the flu. I actually went and got my COVID booster and my flu shot. I bought a bunch of masks. I'm going to be masking up at the airport. It's an international conference, so folks will be coming in from all over the world. I'm very excited. So I just ask that folks lift me up, and everybody who will be traveling there and then traveling home.
Yeah, wear your mask at the conference too.
I will.
Yeah.
Anything else anyone would like to mention this morning? I know we all have on our hearts the situation in the Middle East. I know that we lift up Israel and we lift up the people of Palestine, all offering.
Yes, I lift up all innocent people and condemn fascist apartheid regimes. I don't think any government has the right to do what is being done. And I condemn governments that do what they do in the name of religion and cause harm in the name of a religion. That's all I'm going to say about that without getting too soapboxy, because we don't got time.
Yeah, me too. Anything else? All right, in the spirit of Wedgwood, with our many different beliefs, we have a moment of silence. You can use this certainly however you wish. If prayer is your belief, then use it as a time of prayer, meditation, self-reflecting, just sending out some positive energy to all of the things that we have named, however you want to use this time of silence. Amen.
Good morning, folks.
Good morning.
So I am going to be taking off my Wedgwood hat and putting on my Charlotte Pride hat because as most of you know, but some of you may not know, but that's okay. So I work for Wedgwood, part-time doing community outreach and all sorts of stuff. But my day job is actually with Charlotte Pride. I'm a communications manager. And I've been there for almost a year now. And so I thought I'd take off my Wedgwood hat and share with you the history of the Pride movement in our city in honor of LGBTQ Pride Month. So a lot of people know about Pride Month in June, but the history, LGBTQ History Month is actually in October. And when our previous speaker canceled, I thought, well, this is the perfect time to actually give a talk that I gave earlier this month with another group and maybe give a little history lesson because we've come so far, but we still have so far to go. And it is so, so important that there are churches like Wedgwood and so many others that embrace everyone in their wholeness, including LGBTQ folks, without condemnation. Because there's so much of that in the world. There's so much condemnation. There's so much weaponization of religion. We're seeing that manifest in so many ways, even currently. And so having places like Wedgwood where people are safe and to be who they are is really important. So like I said, I'm going to take off my Wedgwood hat and get into presenter mode. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about Pride in the Queen City. There is actually a pretty significant history in Charlotte, and I'm quite proud to share it with folks. So a little bit about me. I'll be officially official. My name is Liz Schob. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the communications manager for Charlotte Pride. If anyone would like to reach out to me in an official Charlotte Pride capacity, you're welcome to email me there. You can also go to the Charlotte Pride Facebook page and send a direct message or an Instagram message because I run those accounts and I check those accounts daily and I do see your messages. So if you would like to reach out that way, you're welcome to, but there's a number of ways you can do so. So we're going to cover a few things today. I'm going to talk about, what is Pride and the origins of Pride. I'll also touch base a little bit on Pride in Charlotte. As well as some action steps and things that, to mark your calendars. I'll talk about next year's festival. So I'm going to try to keep it brief, because I know folks, we like to get out at noon so we can all go to lunch, but we're going to talk about a few different things this morning. So who are we? Charlotte Pride is the leader in LGBTQ visibility in Charlotte and across the Carolinas. We present and collaborate on programs, projects, and activities, including our annual Charlotte Pride Festival and Parade weekends. We also have our Charlotte Latinx Pride, Charlotte Trans Pride, Charlotte Women's Pride. We've also got interfaith programs, and our very own, or Wedgwood's very own Ryan Davis participated in the interfaith service that we have every year to kick off Pride Week. And we also have Reel Out Charlotte, which is our LGBTQ film festival. Since our founding in the year 2000, Charlotte Pride has expanded our year-round programming and partnerships to better connect community members with our mission, vision, and values. And we are now one of the largest Pride organizations in the Southeast. So we have a few different focus areas, and the first one is arts and culture. Our signature arts and cultures programs include Reel Out Charlotte, the Queen City's annual LGBTQ film festival. We also have Flourish, which is a celebration of LGBTQ arts and culture, which is like a mini arts festival within the larger Charlotte Pride Festival weekend. We also have the Charlotte Pride drag programs, our interfaith programs, and we also have the Charlotte Pride History Project, which is where I got a lot of this information from, as well as some complementing arts and culture components in our standalone programs as well. And we also support a number of other organizations. This afternoon, I'll be heading over to the La Fuerza Festival over at the VAPA Center to support them. We're great friends with the Hispanic Federation and Cine Casual, as well as Charlotte Black Pride. It's really important for us to not stay in our bubbles, and we really try to uplift as many other organizations as possible. Another area of focus for us is the economic well-being of LGBTQ small business owners and entrepreneurs through vendor and other opportunities each year, not only at our festival and parade weekend, but through larger events as well. Community members can also benefit from our yearly job fairs. Our next one is going to be February 2024. We also have additional opportunities to network with LGBTQ-owned and affirming employers at various large events. We've also got our newly expanded Charlotte Pride Scholarship and Internship Program. This past year, we were able to support 11 scholars as well as 2 interns, and we gave away over $30,000 in aid to the young people to help further their academic studies. And we are also proud partners with the Charlotte Regional Visitors Authority and other local organizations to support and promote tourism as well as our local economy. Another area of focus for us is community solidarity. That really speaks to the heart of who we are. We reimagined many of our community support initiatives in the face of the many challenges presented during the COVID-19 pandemic. And in 2020, we unveiled our COVID-19 relief program, which we're discussing trying to expand permanently, but we were able to do a lot through that programming. We also support Enterprise Solidarity Fund, as well as a number of community partners and annual solidarity events like Trans Day of Visibility, Trans Day of Remembrance. We also work with the Freedom Center for Social Justice. So a lot of really important organizations that we work with. Our next area of focus is visibility and education, which is, essentially what I'm doing right now. Our programs are designed to fulfill our mission to enrich, empower, strengthen, and make more visible our community across other communities as well. And we do this through a broad range of year-round programming and activities. And tabling events and networking and awareness campaigns. We're really proud to have partnered with community coalitions to support the 2020 census and making sure that the LGBTQ population is captured accurately. There are many communities that have been historically ignored in the census, and so being able to accurately capture the LGBT community was a very big deal, and we're proud to have worked with that. We also help work to combat housing discrimination, to promote LGBTQ inclusive non-discrimination protections. We worked very closely on the anti-discrimination ordinance with the city of Charlotte, which was successful. So we're very proud of that and the relationships that we've been able to build with city and county partners. So a lot of people think about Charlotte Pride as basically just the festival and parade weekend. That's all they kind of really know. However, we're so much more than just a festival. We're visibility, we are awareness, we are all about doing anything that we can to advocate not only for our community, but as well as communities that also experience similar discrimination. We're all in this together. So let's talk a little bit about the history of Pride in the Queen City. 2023 marks the 22nd anniversary of the founding of Charlotte Pride and the 42nd anniversary of the first Pride events in Charlotte and in North Carolina. This picture was actually from, I believe, the very first Pride event. It was a picnic, a very small picnic, less than 100 people. It was a very different world, and I'm so grateful to every single person in this picture because they all had a part to play in helping push our movement forward. And if you're interested in seeing more pictures like this, Q Notes has a photo archive, and a lot of the information that was pulled today is also in the LGBTQ archives over at UNC Charlotte. So Charlotte's movement for LGBTQ rights would remain effectively stagnant in the 70s. You know, we had Stonewall in 1969 and the first Pride official events in 1970. However, you know, we are in the South, we are in the Bible Belt, and it took time for things to build up. There was the founding of North Carolina's first but very short-lived gay newspaper, the Charlotte Free Press, in 1975. And in 1977, Dignity, this was an organization or a local chapter of it was a national LGBTQ Catholic support group that would later morph into a largely non-religious social group called Acceptance. Those got their starts. But, you know, there were many issues and many bumps in the road with starting the Pride movement in Charlotte. You know, being in the South, we were just on a different timeline, and it was really only when the AIDS crisis started to unfold that our movement here in Charlotte started really gaining momentum. However, you know, as shaky as the groundwork laid in Charlotte in the mid-70s was, it really did pave the way for the growth of some of our first successful LGBTQ organizations. You know, the Acceptance group really acted as an activist training ground. And Don King was an early LGBTQ icon here in Charlotte. He passed away a number of years ago, but he did a lot of work setting the groundwork. And out of the, you know, Acceptance group, Charlotte's Gay and Lesbian Switchboard was formed, and that was really, really crucial. And that's also where Don King met Billy Stickle, who was another activist. And the two of them got together and formed the Queen City Coordinators, coordinators with a Q, so it was QCQ. And they were the group that would eventually take on the responsibility of doing a lot of fundraising for the number of growing LGBTQ organizations in Charlotte that really started at that time. So there were a lot of, you know, picnics and things that got started. However, the year that really changed it all was in 1994. You know, Charlotte hosted a lot of picnics and other events, but it was the Triangle region, you know, Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill, that saw the biggest sustained Pride movement. Durham hosted the first Pride March 1 week after Charlotte's events in 1981. And 5 years later, Durham would pick up organizing again, after which the North Carolina Pride March, and later a festival, would become an annual festival. And that was hosted primarily in the Triangle. However, that festival would travel around the state in the 90s. And Charlotte Pride placed a bid to host the North Carolina Pride in June of 94. And we were able to actually do that. The local steering committee was really intent on making Charlotte's event really different from others in the state. So we expanded it beyond just being a march. We had an opening event on Friday with some comedians. We had an expo with workshops and vendors and exhibitors. We also had an interfaith service at Marshall Park, an evening banquet, an AIDS vigil, and a Saturday night dance over at Founders Hall in what is now the Bank of America headquarters over on Tryon Street. And then that Sunday, the event culminated in the march and a rally. So when all was said and done, Charlotte's North Carolina Pride in 94 was the largest the state had seen since its first official events 13 years prior. And nearly 4,000 people participated in the march, and 2,000 people danced the night away in Founders Hall, and countless more people attended events throughout the weekend. So in 2000, after several successful years without Charlotte, filling the void of an annual Pride celebration in the Queen City, some community members felt it was time to give Charlotte's LGBTQ community an extra boost of visibility. And in 2000, Charlotte was not the little Charlottes of the early years that had really grown so much. And the AIDS crisis had lent urgency to the need for LGBTQ Charlotteans to organize and advocate and be more visible. And in the 80s and 90s, we had really seen an explosion of growth and new organizations like PFLAG Charlotte, Time Out Youth, RAIN, so many more organizations like that actually got their start during this time. And in 1993, Charlotte actually hosted a PFLAG's national conference. So Charlotte was really an up-and-coming place. But despite all of this, organizers in Charlotte, we felt that their city wasn't really that visible, or as visible as it should be in terms of LGBTQ support as other cities. And they saw an annual Pride event as a means to empower others and bring a spotlight onto the lives of LGBTQ people. So starting in 2001, Charlotte Pride hosted its very first festival in Marshall Park. And we held that festival every year through 2005 in that location. So the most significant change has been, or it's the most significant thing, not change, but movement in our organization is our commitment to supporting those, not only as a result of the pandemic and economic downturn, but really kind of boosting things. So, from 2005 through 2020, we saw exponential growth. We held our Charlotte Pride Festival every year and eventually moved into Uptown in I believe it was 2013 or 2015. In 2013, we actually held our very first parade. And we've been increasing ever since. We had our landmark year in 2019 with 200,000 attendees. And then COVID happened. And in 2020, we pivoted because we realized we weren't going to be able to do the festival and parade. And so we unveiled our COVID community relief program in partnership with the United Way for the Carolinas and the Foundation for Carolinas. And we also partnered heavily with Charlotte Black Pride and a number of other organizations as well. And this is why I say, we're so much more than just a festival, because we really do so much community work as well. And in that assistance program, we were able to award more than $16,000 in direct emergency assistance grants to more than 160 community members. And that program was reimagined. And then in the fall of 2021, we were able to give out an additional $15,000. And so that spirit of solidarity has been with us from the start. From those early years, it has not gone away, and it's actually expanded and extended to other acts of service. We actually had a weekend of service during COVID that saw more than a dozen community organizations together with 300 individual volunteers partnering with Charlotte Pride to give back to the community through various service projects in August 2021. And then in November, we hosted a community conference and a job fair, and we also collected thousands and thousands and thousands of donated clothing items for our Charlotte Pride Free Store. But then in 2022, we felt that it was safe enough to have another festival in person. We also had an online festival, Charlotte Pride Live during COVID that people could watch through streaming. But in 2022, we felt that it was safe enough to go back in person. And it was our belated anniversary celebration, our belated 20th anniversary of the first Charlotte Pride Festival, as well as the belated 40th anniversary of the founding of the Pride movement here in Charlotte. And in 2022, in solidarity with that movement, we actually saw a record attendance in Uptown. Over the course of our 2-day festival, we had 275,000 attendees. That's bigger than my hometown of Fayetteville, and that's something we're so incredibly proud of. And we've continued to grow in so many different ways. Here's some perspective for you. So in 2010, we had 10,000 attendees, which is still, I think, a pretty impressive number. And in 2022, we had 275,000 attendees. And in 2023, we had 260, which actually was to be expected. So we dipped, 15,000 attendees. However, we believe that 275,000 swell was, because people were just so excited to come back in person. And so 260,000 attendees is still a number we're incredibly proud of. That's still 260,000 lives that we touched over the course of the weekend. And we are so, so, so excited for 2024. We've got some really big plans. So I'm going to encourage folks to actually mark your calendars because we have our festival dates for next year. August 17th and 18th, 2024, we will be back in Uptown Charlotte, and we hope to see you there. So if folks want to learn more about the history of Charlotte Pride, I tried to give a snapshot for time, but you can visit our website, charlottepride.org/history. I'm also so happy to stay after for a few minutes. After we wrap up, if anybody has any questions. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of give a snapshot of all the things that we do and how our movement got started in honor of LGBTQ Pride Month. So thank you for having me.
Liz, may I add something or ask you to?
Yes.
I wanted everybody to be sure that you know that Transcend Charlotte started at Wedgwood Church. I don't know if Liz has anything to speak to that, but I'm proud of that. It started with a clothing closet for transgender people. But Liz, I just want to make sure everybody knows that.
Yes, no, thank you. It's such an important thing to share because Transcend has really grown, and it's been wonderful to see how they've grown and expanded. But yeah, they actually got started in our basement. That's where they had their very first peer support groups. And so we have a long and deep connection with them and are so proud of them. And I'm so proud of organizations like Wedgwood, who have been unashamedly supportive of not only the LGBT community, but all social justice in all of its forms. From the beginning, even when it's not popular. Wedgwood has been vandalized a number of times for speaking out in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, for speaking out against Islamophobia and homophobia and against racism. To me, that says that Wedgwood's doing something right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. That was great.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
And like you said, it's more than just a festival. You did give us a great insight of that. And as we always say, welcome home, and we are all welcome here. And the song they're about to perform for you, that we gotta thank you, Ryan, for getting the music together. We All Are One by Jimmy Cliff. So you guys probably know this one. Sing along with me. Now. Ooh, yeah. Sing it. We all are one. We are the same person. I'll be you, you be me. We all are one. Same universal. I'll be you, you be me. No matter where we are born, we are human beings. Same chemistry with emotions and feelings, all corresponding in love. Compatible, can't get around it no matter how hard you try. You better believe it if you should find out that you are no different than I. Reply, we all are one. We are the same person. I'll be you, you be me. We all are one. Same universal world. I'll be you, you be me. The only difference I can see is in the conscience, and the shade of the skin doesn't matter. We laugh, we chatter, don't we smile? We all have hope, feelings that make all those faces always renew. You better believe person. I'll be you, you be me. We all are one. Same universal world. I'll be you, you be me. We all are one. We are the same. We're the same, we're the same, we're the same. We all are one. Same universal world. Look at the children, they're having fun with no regards to why. They all look different, but deep inside, the feelings of love they hide, they can't hide. They can't hide. They don't hide. Oh, you'll be you, I'll be me, yeah. Oh, you're all the same, yeah. We all are one. We are the same person. I'll be you, you be me, yeah. We all are one. Same universal world. I'll be you, you be me. We all are one. We are the same person. I'll be you, you be me. Thank you, thank you. Didn't mean to cut it off that quickly. All right,
Thank you, Ashanti. That was so perfect.
perfect. Yeah.
Because it really is about celebrating who we are. If we can just all let each other live and be ourselves in whatever way that looks, the world would be a much better place.
More peace.
Yes. So as we go into this week, I encourage each of you to really sit with yourselves and think about things about you that you want to celebrate. Because we don't always, I know I don't always take the time to do that, to think about things that I'm proud of, things about myself that I want to celebrate. And then also think about our community and how we can celebrate each other and find joy and spread more love, because the world needs so much more of it.
We extinguish this flame, but we keep it light in our hearts with this message of love and justice, taken outside of these walls into the world that we live in until we see each other again. Amen, Ashe, and may it be so. Go in peace.